So in this video, I'm going to give you 6 no-nonsense tips for Amazon FBA product research. Now, a lot of this stuff has helped us grow our brand to over $140,000 a month. So I think that you're going to find it pretty useful. Also, if you want the chance to win $100 in cold, hard Amazon vouchers, stick around to the end of the video. All right, so tip number 1 is focus on niches where the buyers are passionate about what they're buying. So a great example of this is a product like a chef's knife. Now, if you take a look on Amazon, you'll see that there's quite a big difference in the prices within this niche. But what you'll see is that there's products at the lower end, around 16 to 17 bucks, and then right next to them, there's products at 40 bucks. And both of these products, they sell over 3,000 units a month. Now, the reason for this is that there's a portion of these people that are looking for chef knives that are super passionate about cooking. So what it means is that they're willing to pay more for something that's of higher quality, or at least for something that appears to be of higher quality. So if you compare this to something such as coat hangers, so nobody is passionate about storage, I hope. So when you're doing your product research, it's generally much easier if you try and focus on products and niches that people have a real passion for. It generally means that there'll be a room for a premium product and room for you to get a bit more creative with your branding so that you can actually charge a little bit more. And in general, it makes it a lot easier to understand as much as you can about your target demographic. Think about how much easier it is to do research on people that are passionate about cooking and the types of products that they buy versus people that are just searching for coat hangers. Okay, so tip number 2 is sell in the US even if you're not from there. So there's probably a lot of people from the UK that are watching this video. And let me tell you, if you're doing product research in the UK because you live in the UK, well, it's honestly a huge mistake. As much as we love good old Blighty, it just doesn't make any sense to sell in the UK when the US market is literally 10 times bigger. Now, I see that fella in the back over there. He's raising his hand and he's saying, well, Alex, the competition in the UK is actually much lower. Honestly, mate, it's just not true. So overall, the competition in the US is much lower. And the reason for that is because the ratio of sellers to customers is much healthier. So the UK market is really small in comparison, and there's actually a lot of sellers. So the size of the pie that you're trying to take a slice of is much smaller, and the number of people looking to eat that pie is much bigger, relatively speaking. Okay, so tip number 3, start by mapping out lots of different hobbies. Now, this is closely related to tip number 1, and it's a great way to give yourself a framework for approaching product research. What you can do is manually just list or write down as many hobbies as you can think of, or go to Reddit or Facebook groups and browse around, and you'll find a lot of weird little niches and hobbies where people are super passionate about what they do. I guarantee there's a lot of things out there that people spend a lot of money on that you had no idea about. So stamp collecting, growing mushrooms, growing your own microgreens, racing drones, whatever it is, it can be a great way to kick off your research by mapping out a ton of different passions and hobbies and then diving into Amazon or Helium 10, whatever it is, to see the types of products that all of these people are buying. So it's also really worth keeping this in mind as you're doing your research. So for every product that you see, you always want to be thinking, who is buying this? What are they passionate about? What's their hobby? Or, what do they really love? It'll help you spot a lot more opportunities for finding products and building brands. All right, so tip number 4 is to try and find smaller niches where the average quality of listings is poor. Now, this is a particularly good tip if you're new to Amazon and perhaps you don't really have a massive budget. You really want to be getting a feel for how good the average listing in a niche is when you're doing your research. So in some niches, the average listing quality is really high. I'm talking ridiculously good product photos, really good videos, great copywriting, and super creative branding. And these niches are really difficult to compete in and stand out. Yet people still seem to be drawn into them, and generally it's because obviously there's a lot of money there and there's a lot of demand. But unless you have a product that has a massive USP and you have a really big budget, then you're really going to struggle to stand out. So don't be afraid to go after these smaller niches where the quality of the competition isn't as high. And even if you do just go in there and you make an absolute killer listing and amazing branding, you're going to be able to stand out. Okay, so tip number 6, start your research by looking at keywords rather than products. Now this is super easy to do with Helium 10. All you need to do is come over to Black Box, and then instead of selecting products, select keywords. So from there you can fill in different filters like the category that you want to look at, search volume, and the number of words in the keyword. So have a play around with the different filters and have a look at what keywords it spits out underneath. So the good thing about this, right, is that you can start to see what sort of niches exist within certain categories instead of just looking at specific products all the time and specific listings. So I've always found that it's a great way of doing product research and niche research. And also if you want to go super granular, you can set the number of words in the keyword to say 5 or 6. Then what you'll find is really long tail keywords where people are looking for very specific things. So if you look and you realize there aren't many products catering to that very specific search, then there could be an opportunity for you to develop a product that does. If you don't have Helium 10, we have a 50% discount code. Just check out the video description for a link. All right, so at the start of the video, I said that you can win a $100 Amazon voucher, and I wasn't lying. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and then write me a comment below telling me what topic you want us to cover on the channel next. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going to use a random generator to pick the winner. And honestly, we're probably only going to get a few comments, and your chances of winning it are going to be really high. If only 4 people comment, then you've got a 1 in 4 chance of winning $100. Also, check out this video that I did recently on some PPC tips, which I think you're going to find really useful if you like this video. And I will see you in the next one.